we communicate with clients the way they want to be communicated with. So, you know, we know after the relationship, what do they respond to? Is it emails? Is it texts? Is it phone calls? It's a number one priority right now that we check in with our people. It is not about getting referrals. It is not about talking about real estate. It is about humanizing the connection and checking in on people. Everyone has a different relationship. You have no idea what they're walking right now or is having a different experience with this. You have no idea what they're walking. They could have family members who are sick. They could have lost their job. So it's really about reaching out to your people and showing them that you care and checking in on them because you do care. They're the heart of your business, and that's what's most important right now.
But there's a lot of positivity and a lot of things that we can still do. One of the great quotations I've heard lately was by Larry Kendall, and he was saying that realtors don't really believe in social distancing. We are physical distancing because that is what we need to do, and we have responsibility to our community to stop this virus and to actually do physical distancing. But with social distancing, realtors want to buy. We are social. We want to connect. We want to be a part of our community. We want to be a part of our clients' lives and show up right now when so many people are in pain and continue to provide value and continue to be connected.
Life is too short to be around negative people. Get negative people out of your life. Be around positive, inspiring people because that rubs off on you, and it does, and it allows you to maybe do things that you never thought. Well, I'm glad you mentioned Zoom. I should have bought shares in them like 6 months ago. But yeah, look, the basics, that's what we have to focus on is imparting way more value than we can ever take in payment. So it's like, that's where I come from.
I mean, it's like the vision, right? So one thing before you move on, right, is I think everybody's vision can be very different, and I want people to have that own identity with their vision, right? But I think a core question is, there's two core questions I think all professionals that want to have a career is who's your client, right? And who do you like to be around? And put that into what I call core values, right? And those are the two things. If you can get really dialed in on that and you make decisions based on those two things, everything else will kind of take care of itself.
The conversations I'm having are not about fluff. I mean, I used to joke and say if I went into a house and somebody brought up shiplap, I was going to walk out from that. I was like, no, we're not talking about shiplap. It's not about it. But it's not about that at all anymore. I think my conversations with my clients are more about hopes and dreams and fears and longings.
We just actually launched our bingo, our shelter at home bingo promotion that we're doing, where people can fill it in and share pictures and stuff like that. So we like to mix in, the fun and the facts.
What I'm doing differently actually is being who I am and not being a chameleon anymore. I think as realtors, we often say that we can drop everything at the drop of a dime, and in actuality, that is not working for us. In fact, we have to bring who we are to the table and not see it as a burden. I know when I show up to a listing appointment, I have what I would consider to be a gift and sometimes a burden or a curse in saying, will somebody look at me as a Black woman or as a realtor? Will they be questioning my credibility or will they be questioning my worth? That's a privilege for me because through adversity is when I shine. And I want to give that to everybody else to let them know that adversity is actually when you start to really show up and show out. And because of that, I don't have a conversation about, I know you notice that I am Black, because people will often say they're colorblind. Now people are understanding there is no such thing. When I show up, see me who I am and what I stand for.
Doing video was not something I ever thought I would do. And I can't stop doing video. Now I'm like, let's just talk to the people. And you really inspired that, Nicole. And I guess in terms of my business, I feel like I'm doing much more of leaning into the truth and to making sure that my clients understand that the service I offer is about safety and security more than bricks and sticks.
You don't have all the answers. You're not the smartest person in the room. And if you are, you're not in the right room, right? Like you've got to be, this business will humble you quickly if you feel like you're the best person at it. and you got to think big, right? So I also believe that one of the best lessons was I got to start measuring myself on a national scale than a local scale, right? Think bigger. And part of that was just being okay if it's not going to work. If failure is okay, if you're not willing to fail, then you're okay with that kind of mediocrity. You know, you're okay with what kind of staying where you're at. So I learned those lessons like hard, right? Bringing like a bank account way up and then just seeing it hit the bottom, right? And I'm like, okay, you've got to start learning more and you know, using those lessons better.